What's up? Oh my god. Gosh, Chinese New Year to me. A couple days ago, I found a video where I went to a Panda Express party for Lunar New Year. Now I was filming an outro part in this room, and it became much longer than I thought I wanted it to be. And so I was just like, why don't we make that an entirely separate video on its own? So here we are. When we went through the different rooms at the Panda event, it really reminded me of the different themes that I saw at different Chinese New Year celebrations. For me, it's Chinese New Year because my closest ancestors that celebrate that Lunar New Year celebration are Chinese. There were dumplings, which we would make in school, I remember. So there are dumplings at the Panda Express event. Dumplings are eaten at Chinese New Year because they look like Chinese are very into gold, like money. I do remember packaging some in my grandma's house, not on Chinese New Year though, because I was never around for Chinese New Year when growing up that much. But I do remember wrapping them in her house, like you saw in Crazy Rich Asians, if you've seen it. And I do remember doing that in my school too. My school played a huge part in teaching me Chinese culture. My school in America had like a Chinese language program where like half of our classes were in Chinese, and our teachers found it really important for us to learn Chinese culture as well as the language. So New Year, it was huge. If you guys don't know, Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year is like the Christmas of at least China and a lot of Chinese speaking countries. People get, I think, at least around a week off. The celebration itself is 16 days, and each day means something different. I don't think a lot of people know that. Every Chinese year, at least in school, there would be a parade that we would all partake in that would happen in Chinatown, and there would be a sweatshirt competition that, you know, the parents would wear for that parade. And anyone could enter the competition, parents or students. And I entered every year, and I didn't win any of them, but my mom would always, she would always receive the sweatshirt, and she would always be like so disappointed. She would like criticize the image of the person who did one, and she would always say like, why do they have to make their names so big in the corner? I remember during the parade I would dance or I think I would play drums. I played drums like traditional drums one year. That was a lot of fun. And then in class around Chinese New Year, we would hang up decorations, a lot of red. Red is the color of Chinese New Year. This means luck, and I think in some sense it does mean fertility, but I've also heard that it's the color that scares away monsters. During weddings also, during Chinese weddings, you will see red as well. Oh, and I saw earlier today that Ratmon of BTS posted a sort of Lunar New Year-esque selfie. It was through the Snow app or something, but it had the character Fu on the side here. And a lot of Chinese people flip that upside down in their house around Chinese New Year. And then during school, we would also cook different dishes like dumplings. And I think one year we would help serve them to the French immersion, the French language part of the school. So that was a lot of fun. At home, okay, so outside of school, my family friend would throw this huge party, potluck, every year, and we would bring our own dish. Sometimes they would be pot stickers, and then I love pot stickers, can you tell? Kids would play video games and hang out with each other and play like board games. It was a lot of fun. The adults always talked with each other, caught up with each other, and there was just always so much delicious food that people made because people really put their heart into food when it comes to Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year. Hongbao would be given out at the end of each party, and my parents would always bring hongbao or angbao or red envelopes, however you want to say it, whatever language you want to say it in, dialect. Anyway, they would bring that, and it's always from the elders, so like your friends' parents, your aunts, your uncles. Not sure about the grandparents actually. Yes, grandparents too. Always give that to you, the younger person, which is actually kind of funny because we always like overly respect our parents. growing up. So this is like the one time of year where we have the physical representation of our parents being like, here you go. Red packets themselves, I feel like should be like an art collection because they're so elaborately decorated, some of them. Red envelopes are also given on celebration days such as weddings too, by the older generation to the younger. And so yeah, that's basically, that party was pretty important for me growing up. I do remember celebrating Chinese New Year sometimes with my family in Malaysia when I was younger. Noodles would be eaten to promote longevity. This also happens on birthdays, at least for my Malaysian Chinese culture. My grandma always makes noodles on Chinese New Year and on birthdays as well. Man, just thinking about Lunar New Year and Chinese New Year in Malaysia, a lot of malls come out with like specials and stuff like that, and there are different like stalls that, you know, suddenly turn red in the courtyard in malls, and it's like, it's really cool. But yeah, that is basically it for all my Chinese New Year stories. I just woke up. Clearly I only have some foundation on, but I'm feeling festive in my Pizza Planet shirt. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching this last minute post. Bye! For example, there was the lion. Now let's go in order.